Okay, yep. It is No Shave November, and I'm okay with the way that my beard is gray. Just because I got to be real about it, I'm old. Hey, let me introduce myself, Casey Tainer. To my left, Tiger Hill.
Hello, hello.
To his left, Tim the Tool Man Taylor.
There you go.
That's the jokester of the clan.
There you go.
And he's going to joke tonight. We're going to joke tonight. We're going to try to keep it as enlightening and as real as possible because we have a lack of communication in this world. Because we've talked about how many different levels of communication one can have in their everyday life, from their children to their wives, girlfriends, mothers, co-workers, friends, very close friends. We understand that we cannot just wrap up an entire conversation about communication in an hour. Case in point, something about us. As people start listening to us, they've asked me questions. One question I've had is, did you guys grow up together? So I've tried to explain to people, you're going to find out we never knew about each other outside of me and Tiger, as well as Tim and his older brother, Howie, knowing us existing. Howie and Tim have the same mother. Me and Tiger have different mothers, but we all have the same father. We are going to come real. What we're going to say is our father was an addict. One of his first addictions, as far as I know, was women. His next addictions would probably be your normal average marijuana, Little King's beers. That's what I remember. From that point, it went to crack. Once crack came in, all the rules were out the window. Before crack, though, there was one addiction he never, ever had and never had to deal with. That addiction was being a father. Because of that, Tim and his brother Howie never knew their father. Me and Tiger, on the other hand, got to experience the wrath of the man. We're never going to be sure which one was a better life to lead, but we're over that. Our father is now dead. He died 2 years ago. And when he died, it was the first time the four of us were ever in the same place at the same time and able to look each other in each other's eyes. And that was the first time four blood brothers stood eye to eye and got to even know we existed.
He ain't leave me nothing.
So,
yeah, man, he left us each other. So, yeah, that day, I mean, that was a wonderful day.
Yeah, it was.
Because no matter how emotional things were and how at sometimes things seemed to be tense, you know, that was our birthday all coming together. And it's been a couple years, and I'm loving where we're at now, and I'm really looking forward to where things will go.
can I ask you a question, Tim?
Can I say?
You don't have a choice, really, because you're going to interview us. I know you are.
I mean, I got questions that
I know you do.
wanna, you know, but what you
No,
wanna know?
I think I know. As far as between us, what's it like to try to form a relationship with someone, communicate with someone as a 45-year-old man, and look at another man, 43 years old, stranger in your life? What is it like to try to do that from your point of view?
First of all, I'm gonna say I didn't want to know y'all. You know, and that's being real. Like I didn't want to know nobody. I didn't want to have to deal with it. I felt like once we got older, it was like we too old to get to know each other now. You know, and I blame probably you two guys for us not knowing each other at the time. You know, so, but I was wrong.
All right, that's That's fair. So, and at the same token, was there ever a time in your life that you knew or heard about us and inquired? I mean, was there any time that you heard about you might have some brothers out there? Or
Nope. I mean, I heard. I mean, it's weird because their dad. My Aunt Chandra, and I was real cool with her and my Aunt Gina. Like, we lived together. And it was weird about it is like they you know what I'm saying, y'all knew them.
Pop sisters, right?
Yeah, and they never, like, hey man, let me tell you, hey, let me bring your brother over here,
Right.
And it's been years, so with that being, it made me have resentment. Like, I don't want to know these guys. And if it's like that, and then being young, you don't understand like the politics of what was going on.
Right.
I knew this guy didn't want nothing to do with me. So I knew I had some siblings, but I used to tell myself, like, I ain't got no pictures of them, so they ain't my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just what my mind state was in. So, and then once I got older, I kind of resented the aunties too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Y'all, and then like the cousins. So I didn't even go around nobody. So
there's been several times that I've actually, and I have witnesses to this, that I pulled Pops together and said, hey, look, man, I want to know the brothers. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to know their names. I want to know everything. You know what I mean? There was, multiple different times. So, now looking back, what I mean, I always think of, me being an older brother, you know what I'm saying? And I always wish now, and I'm thinking, what more could I have done to bring us together sooner? I'm very fortunate that, not that Pops died, but at his funeral, we all came together. So it was the birth of us,
So, I mean, y'all always wanted to know, or did you just be like, I don't care, he ain't, Like me, I didn't care. I didn't know him, so I didn't want to know nothing that had anything to do with him. So, I mean, at any point, did y'all just not even care? Like, if y'all had siblings or not?
I don't think that it was ever a feeling of not caring or not wanting to find someone. I never thought that it was going to happen when he died. And it's not even so much. I think I gave up on knowing. Because me and him, I feel like we went through extraordinary circumstances trying to find out. And no one would tell us. My mom, as I was growing up, she used to use it in arguments with him. They would argue. They would fight. I grew up around fist fighting. A lot of violence in the house. And I would hear about other kids. And I never really got an explanation from her later when she forgave him and just said she was angry. And it was never really clear to me. So I never really thought that I didn't care. I did care. I did.
Right.
I felt like I was never going to know. It just wasn't going to happen. And what really shook me was when our cousin Little Ricky died. When Little Ricky died and me and him went to the funeral together, it was the first time I ever looked at Howie. When I looked at your older brother and I saw his face, he'll tell you, I thought I was seeing Dad in a smaller package. And it was so crazy to me because I never realized that I was going to see my brother one day. I never knew that. I had no idea I was going to come to this funeral today and see my brother. And at that point, I never even thought about the possibilities of seeing you one day. We still have another brother that we know about for sure. It's my full blood brother. It's my mother's child.
I mean, you know that for sure.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was born a year before me and was given up for adoption. And he thinks he's seen him before because he says he looks identical to me. Maybe it is. We know he's here. We know, well, not here. We don't know where he is. There's no one left. My mom's gone. I was never really sure if she wanted to find him or not. I don't know. I don't know because it was so hard for her to talk about. So when it comes to me, I don't, when I think about do I care, it's not that I don't care. I have no real thoughts that it could happen. Same as I felt, I guess, with, you. Definitely. I don't know where he's at. I guess I could hire a private detective. That's the best I could do if I wanted to, secure that brotherhood. We could do that. I guess we could look into it. I've thought about, this is selfish, but I've thought about if he was ever looking for his parents, right? And someone knocked on my door one day and said, "Hey, I've been looking for you. I know your brother, and he's looking for his family." I'm going to tell this dude, they're gone. They're dead. You got nothing to learn. You got nothing to think about. You got brothers, and I'm hoping that we're good enough because that's all you got. You got nothing else. So,
wow.
Is it so much that I don't care? It depresses me. There's my answer. As far as don't care, Tim, whenever I was dealing with Dad trying to find the answers, it was always out of depression. It was always out of depression because I never even talked to him if I was happy. But I definitely talked to him when I was angry. I definitely talked to him when I was depressed. And that was the last conversation I think we had before I didn't see him for 20 years. Almost 20 years. Because the last time I saw him was my 25th birthday. So anyway, as far as brotherhood, yeah, I definitely cared and never thought I was going to find the answers, and that led to depression. Completely.
Wow. Hey, you know what? I think we're looking at it, from we're going to take responsibility for this, and that's good. But
why would you look at it like that?
But I'm just saying, and in a token, you know what I mean? It is our parents' responsibility to make sure, like, for example, do you have any kids that don't know each other?
I think so.
Do you really?
I think so.
But you're not 100% sure?
No.
Okay. So, to your knowledge.
I was out running around, so I'm sure. Somebody might pop up and say, "Hey."
Right, that's not funny.
Dad.
Yeah.
Dad.
Ain't gonna be no baby. It's gonna be a grown person, man. A whole grown person, probably. Maybe. I don't know.
So as far as the children that you know of, do they all know one another?
Yeah.
Of course. Too easy. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's the parents' responsibility to make sure that happens.
Yeah, so that's why I asked, why would you?
Yeah, we were failed. We were failed in that regards, and I just wanted to identify that.
So you can't put that on your shoulder.
Right. Most definitely.
I did that. I blamed you, too. I blamed y'all, man. Like, I'm like, man, these guys could have came in. First of all, I thought he was older than me, and I thought he was oldest. And I knew you was the oldest,
right.
But then I thought he was somewhere above me. I thought I was the youngest, and I'm blaming my big brother for not coming and, hey, man, let me find these dudes.
Let me ask. I'm 43 years old.
Old.
Youngest baby.
Going on 60.
Right.
No shave November. So, I got grays because I've been through some things. But what's the point? What's the importance of old men now that our father's gone, okay? There's only one thing in this world that we share, and that is his blood, right? We all have this want, and that have nothing to do with him. So why bother with each other? What is the point of bothering with each other in this world? There are brothers who are born from the same mothers who are not close. So what's the point of us even bothering with each other?
I mean, how you live like most of your life knowing that it's another you out there, and you know what I'm saying?
Right, I do.
You know what I'm saying? So you know that. So, hey man, even no matter how much I was like, I don't want to know these guys. These guys ain't my brother. You know, it's still like something missing. Like, you know, you especially when you know it's somebody else out there. But
well, I think the lowest common denominator, in my opinion, is no matter what we say, no matter how we admit or deny, there's always going to be a void in all of our lives as far as, you know, our donors concerned. And I think by us coming together, we become therapeutic for each other. And, you know, through that bond, you know, we can maybe even fill that void with our current presence. Well, man, I think things are meant to happen for a reason at a selected time.
yeah, we cool.
So for now, you know, I mean, I remember that first time on my birthday, and this is just communicating a couple good memories, but I remember that time on my birthday that everybody got together. We went bowling for that first time, man. That to me was
we had fun.
That was real. That was real stuff, man. I was like, oh yeah.
Hey,
I was ready to book a cruise, wasn't I, man? I was ready to book a cruise, man. I was geeked up, man.
Let's do it again, man. Tomorrow, right
man.
now. Hey, but you got to think, man, too, like, we text every day. I mean, we might go like a week maybe sometimes, but it's been a while since we actually not text.
Right.
But lately, like really lately, we've been really
communicating all the time.
Especially me and KC, like me and him, we'll be on text.
Y'all don't go to sleep.
Yeah. Then him and Howie get on.
I go to sleep. I go to sleep, and then he'll wake up.
Because I wake up in the middle of the night and I'll be like, hey, I see the last text.
That's the difference. When I go to sleep, I'm done. When he wakes up, he continues. I don't. I'm done.
I'm old, so I go to sleep about 7 o'clock. Nah, not really. But, you know, when I go to sleep, I'll wake up and I'll see his text. So, you know, it's my brother.
Well, I mean,
I'm
okay.
disturb the hell out of you.
And actually, I can even go back to when I asked earlier, why does it matter? Why does it matter? And I think that's a question that's always been there, right? Since the day Pops died. Why does it matter if we leave here and talk or not?
I mean, at this point, it just don't have nothing to do with him.
No, well, that's
we're grown, so it's up to us now to have that relationship, and apparently we all want that relationship, and it's hard being this old and trying to do the brother things, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody got their own situations going on, so it'd be kind of hard for people to for us, not people, but it'd be hard for us to get together here. We be doing all right these last few things because we trying to get stuff going. And this is actually helping us become closer, too. So,
most definitely. Yeah. This is probably one of the best forms of communication, just, you know.
And we're letting everybody see who wants to watch, so.
I've always wondered what the differences between me and the old man were. Because I have an attitude like him.
I think we all do.
I have terrible communication like him. And that's why I had started talking about earlier when the way we grew up, I never felt that I could talk to Tiger at all. I never felt, I felt a lot of my life that like he didn't like me. Right? And I feel, of course, we had our brotherly issues. And then there were just times I kind of felt like I was an outsider from him and Dad. And I never really understood how much him and Dad were not what I thought they were.
From the outside.
Yeah. My point was, when you look at us and Dad, I was there watching him and didn't understand. As I'm watching him and Dad, I didn't know what he was going through until way later in life. When he started explaining, when we actually started being able to talk about it, because we never communicated about it. We just didn't. When we were younger, we didn't communicate that way. We weren't raised to do that, so we just didn't.
That's
When we got older, we decided to have our own. We decided to do how we wanted to do. To me, when I keep asking, what's the point? Because I get to decide to talk to my brother when my entire life it was denied. that when you asked me, did I care? I had become so numb that when I got the option, apparently I did. That's what it was to me, really. Was just that now that somebody gave me the option to talk to him, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Why is it so easy to remember everything that's bad and everything that's negative that didn't happen in your life, but it's real hard to remember positive things? You know, like you can sit and spill. It had to be some type of good time that you guys. Everything. You know. I'm not taking up for nobody, but everything just couldn't be, you know, a bad time all the time. It had to be something good that y'all got from God.
I remember good times. I have good time memories. I think there's some traumas too that I forgot. When we talk about it, he forgets some things that I remember, and then I forget things he remembers.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man. One of the most interesting things, one of the things that you would have probably found great memory in, would be the many talks. Dude had talks, man. He had talks. He would have stories like, you know, fishing stories or just stories about anything. He could come up with a story and turn it into a lecture. Like, and it could be something common. Like, you could be telling him about an interest and he would find some way to put some type of militant twist to it or something. You know what I mean? He just was, you know, how much he talked and the things that he would say. And he would try to use big words because, you know, he had a couple years of college.
I got it. That's what I had to ask y'all.
What?
How much of them lectures and
most of them were off, bro. Most of them were off.
How much of that y'all listened to, like, or took outside the door with y'all?
Hey,
hey, my pop said don't cross the street.
At some point, you just got to accept people for who they were. And I remember telling my children, because the you know, he would get to see my children through my mom, but you know, I would tell, you know, the children, when they come back telling me what he said, tell them don't believe none of it. Don't believe none of it. And to the point where it became a problem for me that I addressed, like, don't be telling my kids stuff. See what I'm saying? You please, just don't do that. You know what I mean? If you want to play piggyback or whatever, you know, that's cool, I guess, you know. But don't be promising shit to my kids, because I don't break promises to them. So shouldn't nobody break. For the most part, I definitely probably keep my problems to myself.
Do you?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, and I'll ask, you know, maybe say indirectly. I mean, you know, if there's something that I really need to get off my chest, then, you know, I'll definitely give you a call. But, you know, I'm not pretty much going to weigh nobody else down with, you know, my problems.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? I'm just not going to do that. That's not, you know, that's not what I do. You know, I mean, a lot of people call me sometimes and they, you know, weigh me down, and I've got to get out of that situation. So I don't like being in that situation. So therefore, I wouldn't like to put nobody else in that situation either. So
that makes it hard for you to even talk to anybody about anything that, you know, as far as like something real personal. It makes it hard because you don't, you know, I'd rather keep it to myself than telling somebody that and it gets out or they use it against me later. I mean, there's more in the lines of that. That's why you don't communicate with people or feel like you want to talk to nobody about your problems.
Well, the biggest thing is I've got trust issues. So I trust nobody. You know what I mean? I don't trust anyone. Yep. So, you know, at the same time, I want to be true to myself. You know what I mean? So I don't, you know, think about how it's necessarily, you know, manly for me not to tell somebody something. You know, I don't think that makes me more of a man.
Right.
You know, and I will talk to, you know, at any given time, I'll talk to people, you know, I will. I just don't trust anybody with certain information.
I don't trust nobody with nothing. Like, I mean, for real, like, it's wild. Like, you know, I went from being around a lot of friends to being around a few friends to being around no friends. You know what I'm saying? I don't even feel like I need a friend or nobody to talk to like that. Because if I come and I share my deepest, darkest, whatever with you, and you go back and turn around and you just tell, oh, man, you know, I feel some type of way. So I just keep it to myself.
No, man, I think it's very important to communicate. I do. I mean, I think the only way that we're going to coexist, the only way that we're going to be able to, I mean, no matter what, you look at the internet, and I think it just goes to show you that this thing is universal. You know, a lot of people want to be independent, and I think it's more interdependent. Everything. Every resource is not going to be in one spot. You're definitely going to have to communicate. And I think that's the biggest thing, the biggest problem amongst the community now is our lack of communication or bad communication, because we communicate, but it's just not in a positive way.
That's because people mess that up for us, by not being able to keep their mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could come and talk to you, and then you'll go talk to so and so, and then it comes back and it's twisted up. So that's the reason why people now learn more so just to bite their tongue when it comes to sharing anything personal with anybody. I mean, that's what it is for me.
That's the safest. I mean, that's definitely safe.
Yeah,
that's
I'm just keep it to myself. I mean, why share? And first of all, the people that you're around might come and talk about somebody else. You know what I'm saying? That's red flag number one. You talking to me about people, so why me telling you anything, you gonna keep my secret? So, that's what lines up with, hey man, I just can't trust you.
So what about outside of, deep, dark secrets or things like that? What do you think about just like overall communicating? Like, for example, you come outside, somebody got your car blocked in.
I'll wait unless I have something real important to do. But other than that,
right, your daughter's got to be at school. She's going to be late.
We're knocking. We're knocking.
So
I don't want to,
right,
but we're knocking.
Well, I'm just saying, you see how little different times like that you might cross or crash, into having to communicate. And what I'm saying is overall communication, not necessarily on anything that somebody needs to know about me, but more just general communication. You know what I mean? Just like, hey, is this your car? You just block, you're blocking me and I'm got to get out of here. So, I mean, just, how do you feel about just general
I'll start honking the horn. Nah. I mean, this comes from a guy that
can I get it? Since we've went here, how do you feel about a brother making your life uncomfortable? Because do you handle, if it comes to someone invading your space?
You gotta think, man. We came 6 brothers and sisters, man. Like, it was always somebody invading space. It was always somebody.
Is it handled with communication? Is it handled with violence? Is it handled? How did you? I didn't have that big family.
It depends on that day.
Okay,
it depends on that day.
Okay,
it could be, hey man, why don't you move to? Why don't you get up out the way? You know what I'm saying? It depends on the day, and it also depends on if the parents was home. So, communication with a big family can go either way, especially if no adult supervision is around. Oh, it's fighting. It's fighting. It's rolling around on the floor, man. Pancakes getting tossed up. It's fighting.
I don't feel like you had a conversation with me if I would ever upset you. I kind of feel like it was always
handled. So you're trying to say he's never upset you to the point where you had to.
Oh no, he's always. That's how. No, I've been manhandled my entire life because
I'm pretty sure that's exaggerated, but
it's exaggerated.
Knowing me, y'all, I'm just sure that it's been exaggerated
a little bit, just a little bit.
I think it's funny, man, because as we talk about the communication with brothers and how we feel about communicating with one another, we've just got so much, man. We just scratched the surface. You know what I mean? We're really just scratching the surface here. We have not exposed ourselves to even an understanding of what our communication is going to be.
We're coming from a very different aspect of communication. We're not brothers who grew up together trying to figure out how to have open communications. We're grown men. We're not crybabying to each other. I think there's a lot of... I don't even mind crybabying time, but we just don't. At
the end of the day, so, that goes into the whole communication thing of, I'm not about to cry to you unless it's that bad. You know what I'm saying? Man, you're going to seem like, hey, man, this dude really open, I'm not saying I won't, because I'm finding out we got a sensitive side to us, so.
no matter what, as far as communication goes, I don't think we have an answer to tell people when it comes to here's how you communicate. I think we're figuring it out.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely figuring it out.
And then on top of that, you know what? We're figuring it out, and we're actually putting it out in front of people, which I don't see if you can't see how three brothers that we're not holding animosity towards each other. We don't know each other. We don't have to open up to each other. We actually want to. We just want to. So it has to say something to us like, this should be an ability we have outside of us. I should be able to, when it comes to those outside of the two of you, I should be able to figure out how to communicate with people. When I can figure out how to talk to two grown men, not in my position. That's all I'm thinking. Like,
I don't know. For me, it's like I had to throw away all the fear with y'all. Like, I can't be afraid to talk to y'all, you know, because, I mean, at this point, we're getting to know each other, so I don't hold nothing back, you know, and I'm not about to lie about it. So, right now, I don't talk to nobody, so me being able to open up with y'all, all this is just helping me out, and
Very therapeutic.
it is very. So it's helping me out right now. So that's why I'm so willing to do it. And you like, hold on, man, you got to watch it. Nah, y'all got to know this. We got to know this because, you know, that's getting to know somebody. You got to know everything. You can't just sugarcoat it and say, well, this is it. Then you find out later, like, that's lying.
Right. You're a liar.
Yeah, so
you're right.
Yeah, so
you're right.
you know, and the best thing that we can do right now is be open and as honest as we can because we don't know each other.
No, that's true, man.
We don't.
That's true. And I think the communication is everybody just got to know it. Like you said, we're figuring it out, but it's text at a time, you know, phone call at a time, visit.
I think
session.
we've been cramming it up lately, honestly. We've been cramming it up lately.
The more of those, the more communication, the better we get, the more you understand.
And the more you feel better about doing it. You know, the more you do it, the more you feel better about doing it. So now it becomes like the norm. Let me call him and tell him his breath stink in the middle of the night. You know what I'm saying? Texting, man, your breath stink. You know, that's our conversation.
Is that like you saying my breath stinks now because he's going to hit me later?
No, I'm just saying.
Like, man, when I passed you, I was like, he's
doo-doo city. But no, I'm just saying that's the way we communicate. And not knowing each other all these years and we can sit and talk to each other like that. And, you know, that's good. That means we're comfortable with each other enough that we can, you know, throw little jabs at each other, and it's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's cool. It's my brother.
You know what? I appreciate, though, that we have to sit down and actually be able to just regular communicate because I think that the three of us deflect consistently, and we always have. I think that's where a lot of our humor. The three of us like to laugh. We want to have a show where we're just clowning and it's itching because that's what we do. We've always deflected. And you keep using the word deflect. So I had to start thinking about it. And I'm like, I feel like this right here is the opposite of the deflection. Okay. When you deflect.
Let me ask you something. Have you learned anything about yourself? I mean.
What do you mean? As
like,
far as when?
Like us being around each other. Like, do you see anything about me that you can be like, you know, man, that's really my brother? That make you just say that to yourself, like, oh man, we do this alike, or you know, this, you know.
Oh, okay, traits.
Yeah,
that's traits. Oh yeah. There's definite traits. Oh, there's definite traits. When it comes to our relationships, when it comes to me and him, I've wondered many times. We don't have the same mother. He didn't have to care about me anymore. Our father didn't care about me. He doesn't have to care about me. He chose to. So when it comes down to making a choice, I think I watched him make choices that led to me make choices. Not my dad. It is what it is. He didn't care about me, and he ended up leaving. So when he was making choices and caring to stay in my life, I realized I had to choose to care to be in his life. it didn't matter that we had the same dad. He didn't matter. He wasn't keeping us together. We weren't on some kind of quest to, get him in our lives. We were on a quest to be in each other's lives. I was on a quest to be in my nieces and my nephews' lives. So when I ended up meeting you, I was given an option, and either I can genetically be like him, who ended up turning his back on his own siblings, or I can just say, no, let me get to know this man, because this man's my brother, and I don't have any blood left. My blood's all dying off. My mom's gone. My dad's gone. My aunties are dying off. The other aunties don't even care, and I don't think they didn't care about me back then. So, yeah, just having this ability to make the choice now means a lot to me, because for my entire life, I was denied the choice and lied to. And then I always fought against that and say, give me my own option, and nobody would. We did not get the option, literally, until the day the man died. And they was ready to bury him. And when the option was presented to me, I remember how you and me met, and I'm never going to forget it. It was, hey, let's just go over to this corner and talk with no one around us, and we are who we are.
Funeral with my shirt off.
You were still shirted.
Pretty Ricky.
No, wait. I'm sorry. For the record, I did not take him around the corner with no shirt on. He was fully shirted when I took him around the corner and we had our private time. My point is, okay, so you and me go around the corner, and it's the first time we're ever meeting. That was 2 years ago. I was 41 years old. You were 43 years old. Because you hadn't turned 44 yet, right? You were 43. It's the first time we met, and people thought it was going to be an explosion that they never thought possible.
But it was also those same people that didn't introduce us to each other that had those
Right.
thoughts, you know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
They tried to control our fate.
Okay.
And they tried to make it out like it was going to be this big old thing. And that's crazy, because if you same people that thought we was going to lock horns didn't introduce us as children, you know what I'm saying? Like when we was kids, these same people that thought we was going to kill each other could have prevented all this the whole time.
They were more fearful of what they did, their actions, than what our actions would be. They just tried to justify. They tried to justify.
They didn't
what
want
they
their
did.
own stuff coming out of how
Exactly,
they covered
like,
up.
hey, how'd you know? Hey, they didn't want to be called. There was no accountability by pops or anybody who's.
I don't think nobody, even still to date, I don't think nobody knows how we are with each other now. You know what I'm saying?
No, definitely no. No.
You know what, man? When I heard the communication, I think it would be remiss of me if I didn't jump in and say that one thing that I see in you that makes me proud that you're my brother is to see how giving you are, to see how genuinely giving and how you take care of folks, man, is. You know what I mean? That's some stuff that's definitely way past what Pops would have ever been. That's just, that's big right
And
there,
I think my mind went like that. I still that in myself as far as, if I even had more, if I didn't have nothing, if I felt you needed whatever I had more than me, I'm going to give it up. You know what I'm saying? Because the way I set my life up, it always come back, not even, not that I want to talk about, oh man, that's not it. But I just feel like if I see somebody need something more than me, you can have it. It's nothing, man. Like, I don't know.
No, man, that's excellent. That's an excellent trait. That trait right there, man. If half of the people.
That's a bad trait, though, man. I get ran over a lot, man. And that's my reason why I don't talk to people. You know what I'm saying? Because of that right there. So, just it's never, you know what I'm saying? You think you doing good by just being that open with people and always want to help. But it be them same people that come back later on and bite you on the butt. Now it's like, I don't talk to nobody. I only go 2 places. If I ain't trying to work or do something else, I only go 2 places. Kids to home, kids to home, kids to home, So Nah.
All right, they keep you honest.
Yeah, they definitely. Hey man, I wouldn't be 45 here right now. We're talking one for my kids, and that's what I believe, you know. But if it's easier for me to talk to, you know, the people that I'm around every day than even family or friends that you've known for 20, 30 years. It's easier for me just to deal with what's in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that makes sense, if it's there for me and wants to be bothered with me, then it's easy for me to deal with it that way.
I guess for me, it's not even so much that we should have multiple friends. I don't know that we should have a whole bunch of people that are in our lives we got to share communications with. I don't think it's necessary. I don't. I think my biggest issue is I know for a fact I only have a select few people who are actually in my life. I don't share with them fully. Of course, I'm going to share some really deep stuff with them. I don't share with them fully. I don't, you know. And I'm not trying to get off track because I know we were supposed to be talking about just communicating with one another, right? But I'm okay to do a conversation later about relationships because I can't sustain a relationship because of communication issues. I don't listen. I have an issue listening. What a woman needs for me to make her happy, I miss it. And I can't deny it no more. I can't blame other women. I can't blame where I've come from. It's me. I got problems when it comes to being able to sustain a relationship. I'm a selfish person. I want to communicate better. I do. I'm selfish when it comes to talking to my brothers. I am. The only time I felt like in the last 2 years since we've met that I actually needed to get real about was when your mother passed. When your mother passed, at that point I said, I got to talk. I got to talk to him. I got to talk to him and Howie because I had talked to Tiger and he even said, what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say?
He can't say nothing.
Right.
But you, on the other hand.
And that's when I said, you know what? Okay, so I don't know you guys very well, but at this point, I've been here. And it's time for me to talk.
Times that you actually called me. You know, he had called me. He's like, man, forget all this texting, man. Bro, you all right? And then right there, that meant a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to take a few minutes and give me that call, you know, and hear my voice. You didn't have to do that, you know, and that meant a lot. Like, you know, hey, man, bro, really, you know, and don't get me wrong, and he'll tell you this too. It's not that I won't listen to what you got to say.
No, believe me.
You're not knowledgeable on this.
He already knew. He knew.
Hey, listen,
he said.
I told him, you know, hey, other than giving my condolences and letting them know that I'm here for them if they need anything. That's my contribution. You know what I mean? This is you, bro. You know.
So, I mean, I hope you didn't even take it as, you know.
No, definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely not.
I mean, it was something that I had to understand and get in line with real quick, that I couldn't talk to just anybody about the situation because they'd be quick to say, hey, it'll be all right.
Right.
You'll get through this. She's looking down on you. She's watching you.
Right.
And, you know, I want to cuss right now, but, you know, shut up, man, because it's not going to be all right. She's not watching me. She's sleeping. She's getting her rest. You know, I'm not going to get over it. It's going to stick with me forever, you know, and the only thing that you do get good at is hiding it. You know, you hide it. So I don't talk to nobody about it because, one, if you talk to somebody that's going through it, or has been through the same thing that you've going through, you could bring up stuff that they probably was like, they just got or was able to cope with, or you're not getting over it, by the way, again, but they then got their coping game down, you know, and then I come in and be like, hey, man, you know, and I'm crying and boo-hooing about, you know, my number one. And then
You open them back
Open
up.
them up back
Yeah.
up to have a setback. You know what I'm saying? Now
No,
you
it's
having
there.
a setback
It's there.
because of me. You know, and that'd be what I don't be wanting to do. You never know what nobody's going through.
Right.
Yeah, I've never thought that. I never thought that I was gonna find something. I guess I don't even want to say positive. When it comes to losing my mother, I never really looked at. Here's a silver lining. You know, there's no silver lining, right? So
Especially if y'all close, though. You know,
definitely.
If this was the mom that always just stabbed me in the back.
What I looked at it was, okay, it's not a silver lining to understand what you've been through, but it is a responsibility to either, here's your option. You can go ahead and ignore what you know is there. And I think that was one of the biggest issues I always had with my dad in the end. We hadn't talked for, I can't even remember how long. When she died, it had been almost 20 years since I talked to him. And there was a chance that had he just called me and said, I'm sorry you lost your mom. I've been where you are. I know how you feel.
You'd have took that ride in that cab.
I don't know if I'd have took the ride in the cab, but I would have lost a lot of anger. I would have lost a lot of anger.
Just
right?
A few words.
Just on the, you cared to give a call. That's it. You've been here. I don't know what I'm about to deal with.
Did it happen?
No, of course it didn't. It did not happen at all. And he can't say that anybody influenced me not to call him. I'm his son. Okay? There's nothing that no one can say to you that you shouldn't decide, especially when you've lost your son. And other people are saying, hey, he might be emotional right now. If they haven't lost their mother, but you know how it feels to have lost your mother, there's nothing that should say that I'm going to reach out to him because the rest of you don't understand what he might be going through. And he might need his father to just say, I'm sorry. That's it. I'm just sorry you lost your mom. That's it. I don't know what it would have been. I don't have a choice. I didn't get that option. No privilege. There's no privilege. So it is what it is.
I'm going to ask y'all this off the record because one time I got charged for a cab ride.
By him?
Yes.
Stop, man.
Yeah, so I call this dude. One morning, man, you know, I call a yellow cab. And this is how ironic it is because I called Yellow Cab and they sent this guy.
Columbus is small.
He never knew who he was coming to get. He never.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I got in the car, he looked. I looked like. Telling him I'm going to my mom's house. I was going from Brittany Hills to Hampton in Maryland. So it was like a $15 ride. He charged me $5. Like, yeah, I want your discount. This should be on the house. Matter of fact, you should give me your morning take too, my dude. Man. But he charged me for a ride, man, and it was weird though because we said nothing to each other.
Did you pay the $5?
Yeah, I gave him the $5.
Right.
I gave it to him.
$8 savings.
I gave it to him. Yeah. I mean, I gave it to him because hey, I don't want nothing from you, my dude. Not even your free ride. But hey, the discount, I'll take it. I'll take it. You know, it was just weird to me because even after that, now you knew where my mom lived. And every day, my mom, like when you turn on the Hampton off of Maryland from James Road, you had to, when you turned your cars directly in front of my mom's house. So this cat would drive through there every day where he would see me, and then he finally realized that, dang, this dude must really live there. And he stopped coming through there. I used to see this guy on Broad and James all the time. And I would cuss him out. You know, I just loud. Hey, man, why you talking about? That's my dad. Nobody would believe it. Talk to your dad like that? He ain't my dad, but, you know, he's my dad. He wouldn't even look at me. He wouldn't look at me.
Wow.
You know, but that's what I went through with the guy. So now you can see why it's some hatred. And it's hatred. And then it's wrong to hate anybody. But that man, I can say even in death, I hate you, dude. Like, I don't, You know, it's too late to wish death on you, you know, but I just can't.
No, just I guess on the communication piece, man, I just think that it's a pleasure, you know what I mean, to be able to have people to communicate with, to have brothers, to be able to get outside of your actual element and, you know, the camaraderie and, you know, the jokes and just, you know, just the laugh. And, you know, it's definitely, you know, something worth looking forward to. And I think the purpose in it all, you know, comes back to, again, what this will manifest, you know, what this is actually going to become. And I'm like real excited, you know. I was really excited the very first time. So, you know, right now I think I'm rekindling that, you know, that type of excitement. So I would just say, you know, to us and, you know, to anybody else that, again, every text, every phone call, every email, every, you know, FaceTime or however, you know, when you think about somebody, you know, send a shout out to them, you know, and I think that, you know, that'll increase just a little communication. You can change it a little bit at a time. It doesn't take much. You don't have to, you know, go out and buy a new phone or, you know, anything like that. Just, you know, just a little bit.
I mean, we're not experts. We're not doctors. And we don't really have an answer to people when it comes to how to better your communication, because that's not what we even understand. We understand trying to figure out how to make our own communication better and not shine away from it. Trying to take on the responsibility that regardless of where you come from, who teaches you wrong, it's always an option for you to decide, I can pick up this phone and I can talk to this person. If I choose to not share with them the things that are really hurting me, that's something that's on me. That's something I do. For me, I don't think I can tell anyone that they should do something or how they should do something. The only thing I feel like is I can hopefully lead by some kind of example. Put my mouth to this microphone. Open myself up to be able to talk to my brothers as much as I possibly can. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to achieve everything I want to. But just to have the fact that I have the support system means a lot. To know that I can call someone means a lot. If I choose not to, then I got to take the responsibility on for not doing that myself. I appreciate being here with both of you guys. Tiger Hill, Tim the Tool Man, Taylor. I like this a lot. And I like to spend some time in this life like this. So to everybody else out there, I thank you for giving us your time. And we will see you soon.
Welcome to Exodus Nation.